Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scribo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So today is Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021, or you could be listening to this in Australia and it's already tomorrow, which is the 23rd. So today there are two big things happening, and I've already tried to do two videos on this with my camera, and for some reason, I'm not able to upload them to YouTube. Now, I know it's my issue and not YouTube's issue, so I have to figure out what happened. So for those of you who are used to seeing me in the morning in my garden, I did do both videos in the garden. As I said, I cannot seem to upload them for some reason. So I've had to do this. And so this is me in the morning, just in case, because you don't get to see me in the morning. So apologies, because this is like hair right out of bed, really. This is kind of bedhead, as it were. So I want to share a chart with you. And I've actually shared this chart in a previous, like, longer video. And that is the ingress of the sun into Libra. But I'm going to just leave it up here because it's I do have bedhead, so we're going to look at the chart. The big picture will be the chart. So two things are happening worth noting today. This ingress of the sun into Libra is the second thing that happens. The first thing that happens is a square between Pluto and Mercury. And we can see here that it's just past that square. Now, what's significant about this square is that this is something that's going to happen 3 times, because next week Mercury is going to go retrograde. So the first time will be today. The second time will be while Mercury is retrograde. And the third time will be when Mercury is direct again. And I believe that's in November, like right at the beginning of November. So this process, that this aspect is in orb for a good, 6 weeks. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the issues that brought up with this aspect are going to be around for a while. Now, we can't just take this aspect as two things happening, because on the other side, we have Eris, and we can see that Eris is actually, wow, this is interesting. At the time, and I didn't see this before in my other video, at the time that the sun moves into Libra, Mercury is exactly opposite Eris and square Pluto, because it just came up the exact. So this is extraordinarily tight. In fact, we had the Eris Pluto square. Was it in August? And we're going to have another one, and the last of 5 actually, in October. Now, Eris and Pluto, Eris takes about 500 plus years to go around the zodiac. Pluto takes 248 years to go around the zodiac. That means that this Eris Pluto square is the same type of square that Mercury Pluto is, in that it's a last quarter crisis in consciousness square. And let me just read something to you here. And sorry, I turned my back to you. This is from one of my favorite books, Finding Your Way Through the Dark. Probably a good book to be reading, because we are finding our way through the dark, right? Okay, so let me just read about this particular phase, which is called the last quarter phase. It says here, the key words for this are reevaluate, turn away, and revise. Says the second half of the cycle is geared towards realization of meaning rather than building forms, which is in the first, that would be the first quarter square. Roger calls this phase a crisis in consciousness, because the crisis that occurs at the last quarter phase is not one of action, but rather one of thought, based on the exposure to different information encountered in the previous disseminating phase. So we have been getting a lot of information, haven't we? Stuff we knew, stuff we thought we knew, stuff that we imagined was happening that was actually happening, and stuff we had no idea about, right? So all of this information has been coming at us in this so-called information, and to a certain extent, disinformation age, right? So not all the information that is coming to us is actually real information. Some of it is made up, some of it, and it's very difficult to sort of decide and decipher what it is that is real, right? This last quarter phase, we may experience this process as hearing those first grumblings of discontent that arise from within. Our lives are marked by a continual turning away from what has been accomplished. Disillusionment sets in as we are unable to continue a lifestyle that has become devoid of meaning. So that's where we are at. That is where we are at. So the things that brought us security, the things that made us feel like we were successful, are actually changing. Our values are changing. And of course, we have Taurus, Uranus and Taurus. Taurus is our values, and Uranus sort of blows them up, right? In the United States, we have the Republican Party that seems to have lost its freaking mind. They are going through a Uranus return, right? So there's all of this, like, this Uranian energy just like throws everything in the air. And of course, this year, 2021, the major aspect is a square between Saturn and Uranus. And it is a last quarter crisis in consciousness square, folks, the same kind of square. So the old ways will no longer work. What do we need to do? We need to focus on what we want to create. I had and I talked about this in the other videos that you'll never see because they can't upload them. Sorry about that. I had one of my watchers, thank you, Bonnie, send me something. And it was a reader, and she was talking about the Christian fascist, I think, organization, but I could be association, I don't know. And how there's this whole like network of people that are trying to, bring us into a fascist state. Well, let me say this. We create our own reality. We do. We create our own reality by what we focus on. And we didn't always know that, but we know it now. Remember The Secret? Remember The Secret? The Secret came out, right? And all of a sudden we're like, hey, we can manifest the life that we want. Abraham talks about that. What vortex do you want to be in? We can do that. We've been awakened to that possibility. So now the question is, what are you going to focus on, folks? What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on being a victim of your circumstance? Are you going to focus on somebody coming after you and putting a chip in you with a vaccine? Are you going to focus on following all the rules and trying to build back better, or go back to the old ways? There's no back anymore, folks. There's no back. It's only forward. And we can't go forward unless we know where we're standing, because all power is in the present moment. So you decide where you want to put your energy. Right? Now, everybody's in different circumstances, and not everybody realizes that this is true. But if you are one that can understand this, it behooves you to do a better job, right? It behooves you to be more mindful about where you're putting your energy. So, it is about personal responsibility, and it's also about our responsibility to our fellow man, woman, child, and creature that shares this earth with us. We have one earth. Yes, we can go to Mars, I guess. Who wants to? There's no atmosphere. There's no trees. It's ridiculous. These men are just like, I'm going to Mars. All these like super billionaires. Well, go. Get out of here, super billionaires. Send Betsy DeVos and her family up there with you. Let them go. Mine Mars. Leave the earth to those people who are going to love the earth. Okay. Sorry about that. That was a little bit of a that was a little bit of a tangent. So we had this full moon, right, in Pisces. The Pisces Libra axis is an axis of victim and victimization, right? The martyr, and the people who it's the Christ story, right? It's like Christ gave up his life, and he suffered and he died, and all of this guilt and all of that stuff. That is the old way. That is the old paradigm. And feeling victimized by everything and everybody's against you and we're in this, we are creating this, folks. This is not an outside thing. This is an inside thing. Everything on the outside is what we are feeling on the inside. And we're going to have to take hold of that and co-create something different. And what these last quarter squares are asking us to do is to, people are going to become more and more disillusioned and disenchanted. The structures that held society together are going to start to erode more and more. And it is going to be up to the individual, but it also means that it's going to be up to our ability to get along with one another, to find the things that are common and what we need to do to survive and thrive instead of die and hurt. This is the rising of the feminine, folks. This is the rising of life. And it's not that the feminine are going to take over, but the feminine is going to balance the masculine. And the Aquarian age is a time, hopefully, of more balance. The Aquarian age is a time when we figure out what it is that is our special gifts and talents and abilities, Leo, and share it with the collective. Not to necessarily make money, although we still have to do that, but to make the world a better place. So that's what I'm seeing. That is what these charts are telling me. This is what I tried to say to you twice already, but my phone is not being cooperative. And I felt the need to go out to say this to you guys on this solstice. So on this equinox, sorry, I know where I am and I know what day it is. The ruler of Libra is Venus, and Venus is in Scorpio, transformation and change of our values. Venus, opposite Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is sudden out of nowhere, disruptions. Taurus is our security and our values and our food and our shelter. Are people losing their homes because of floods and tornadoes and earthly happenings? Yes. Are they losing their homes because of debt? Yes. What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? It's time to let go of the old, embrace the new. And that starts with each of us embracing our own heart. If we come, if the heart chakra has become the root, and that we need to work from that, that has to be our new root as we move up evolutionary and vibrationally. The heart chakra, the root chakra, moves up to the heart. And so we need to be rooted in love. So get your roots on, guys. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I wasn't pontificating too much. I go into this chart a little bit more in my week ahead, so you want to check that out. It's a pretty good video. It is a little long though. So I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great day. Like and subscribe. Happy spring to our friends down in the Southern Hemisphere as you start the light part of the year. And for us in the Northern Hemisphere, we are moving into the darkness. And the darkness is not a negative thing. The darkness is where we can be introspective and really dig deep within ourselves. so that when the light does come back, we'll have a better plan. All right, guys, much love. Namaste.